Peace and love, peace and love, peace and love, peace and love. We're going to be starting soon. I'm just trying to get some things up here on the things going on YouTube as well. I guess I'm coming over here because I really wanted to talk about something. Every time I try to go in one of these rooms around here, they just disrespect you so much. I mean, because they'll let you in the room, but the minute you say something that they may not agree with, then they don't want to hear it no more. You know. Uh, I just don't understand them because they always want to talk about God, but seem like they don't want to get to know anything. They don't want to hear nobody else's opinion or someone else's thoughts that they might be wrong. So anyway, I say peace and love, peace to the gods. I am love in the flesh. I'm a restorer of the faith. My videos is usually about the word that brings life. Uh, that word is what we are supposed to be. We are supposed to be the living word. So I guess my topic is today: are we gods? And if we're not gods, then that means that the law of God lied to us. So are we gods? Think about that. While I continue to get things going before we get this topic going, I just want to finish doing what I'm doing here. See, y'all made me forget what I was doing. I had some great things to talk about. And then they was talking about the will of God, and no one went to anything that said anything about the will of God. They went to other places talking about prayer, talking about um, a walk, or no, about the law, but no one said anything about any scripture that spoke on prayer. You know, so that's what killed me when I'm talking to people. You know, and then the minute I say that, you know, I am. Did you read my post? I am. Did you see who I am? I am God. Oh Lord, they want to kick you out because you said you was God. So that's what they would do to to the anointed one, Yahshua, if he was here today, walking the face of this earth, because he is here. He walks in those who are obedient unto his will. His spirit lives within them. So he still walks upon this earth, just like his spirit lived in the apostles and his students, the apostles, they were his disciples, they were his students, and they were of him. He took them out in the wilderness and taught them. He took them out in the wilderness to get them away from the world and get them away from everybody so that they would listen, because he knew if he kept them around the world was going to keep feeding them the world things. You got all these voices from the world coming at you. So, he didn't want to fight with all the voices. So he took them out in the wilderness and taught them. Same thing God did, you know, with the children of Israel. He took them out in the wilderness. They were so stubborn that he kept them out there for 40 years because of the hardness of their hearts. They were still God's children, but they was hard headed. So God, he couldn't do the things that he promised. It's like when a parent promises you something. If you do a certain thing, then they come home and you ain't did it. You can't expect to get what they promised you. You didn't do what you was asked to do. You was disobedient. You know, the gift was just out of love because you were an obedient child, but since you wanted to be disobedient, you got nothing coming. So I do ask that y'all do share this live with your friends. I think it's gonna be a good topic. I'm not sure. I'm not a content creator. I keep telling y'all that. I'm just one who goes around listens to different topics until they finally kick me out if I'm lucky enough to get in the room. you know. And then I come and start up a live, and I usually talk about something that they were speaking on, you know. So that's what I'm doing now because they were speaking on the will of God, and then they were speaking on basically the will of God, and and where do you go when you die? Do you go to heaven? So you know me, I'm in the room. I'm more mature. I'm not on milk anymore. Man, I ain't been on milk in a long time. You know what I'm saying? I don't drink no milk. I'm a mature Christian. If you want to call me a Christian, because I never called myself a Christian. I'm gonna be honest with you. I never wanted to be. So please don't even classify me as that. I'm a child of God, a son of the Most High. And in order for me to be a son and to stay within my Father's grace, because I never stopped being a son. I was adopted into this family. I was I wasn't look, I'm not in this family because of anything I've done. I'm not in I'm This is a holy family. You think I got in this holy family because of something I done? No. No. I got into this family because of what the Most High done. Because the Most High chose me in the beginning. Hey, peace and love, y'all. Peace and love. You know, according to the scriptures, it says the Most High chose us even before we was in in our mother's womb. Chose us. Think of that. Named us while we were still in the womb. The Most High named us, not your mother. The name that your mother gave you was supposed to come from the Most High, because that's who knew you was there. Now I ain't gonna say that she called you by the name the Most High gave you, because a lot of us call us by worldly names, or somebody else's name, not even understanding what the name is. We just like the way it sounds, so we want to name our child or something after that. All the children of Israel, all their names meant something. All their names were were significant to something that had to do with the Most High. You know, it's just like when you read about Paul, who was once Saul. You know, he was Saul before he was Paul, but once he became a follower, once he was given revelation, once he was touched by the hand of God and opened up to see the light, to see the way. The light is the way. That's the light. Ye are a light if you walk in the way. It's as simple as that. Now, you don't have to believe in a God. God just means to be a supreme being. That's what God means, to be supreme. And you know we are supreme, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, y'all should know that, y'all. At least if you do believe in the scriptures and you believe what the scriptures say, then you know we supreme. I mean, we got to be supreme. God, what is going on here? Oh, that's what happened. Yeah, we got to be supreme. I'm sorry, I was doing some things and studying before I went in, and I went to take a break, and I went up there just to see something. But yeah, so anyway, the conversation got good because when they was talking about these things, I said, well, first of all, brother, You know, you don't just go to heaven. You know, you everybody can't just you just can't walk in heaven. Heaven is a state of being, bro. That's why I say no unclean thing shall enter into the kingdom. Heaven is a place of peace. And I'm sorry to tell you, but that peace starts within you. That's heaven. When you find that peace, you find heaven. Now I don't know about y'all, but my heaven is between the legs of a black woman. Oh, I wasn't supposed to. That's my heaven. My heaven is between the legs of the woman, bro. Anytime I'm laying between the legs of that woman, man, I have peace. I'm at peace. It's only when I get up and step out do I have turmoil. That's if the woman is a peacemaker. She got to have heaven in her too, you know. Heaven is a state of mind. I can talk about heaven. Heaven is a look, not only is heaven a state of mind, check this out. Heaven is righteousness. Did you hear me? Heaven is righteousness. Y'all do me a favor, please. If you like what I'm talking about, just tap that screen right there, please. Just tap that screen. Show me a little love. I mean, that's all I'm asking you to do. When you come into the room, you know, it's like when you're in somebody's house, you speak. You know, you greet them. Thank you so much. Thank you. So that's when you do that, you're greeting me. You're showing me love. You know what I'm saying? I, when I open up my room, the first thing I do is I open it up in peace. Peace to all, especially to the gods. I come to you in peace. Thank you so much. Thank you, brother. I come to you in peace. Peace is what I want to give you. I want to show you the way to peace. The question was, are we gods? Because according to your law, this is what the scripture says. According to your law, I'm not saying it's not my law. I'm not saying it's not our law. But according to your law, and I'm just paraphrasing, I'm just quoting the words of the anointed one. I'm just quoting the words of the Son. The Son said, according to your law. He was speaking to the Pharisees and the Sadducees, you know, to the Israelites in there. He said, according to your law. The Pharisees and the Sadducees, they were the leaders over the Israelites. So he was speaking to the leaders, the teachers. The leaders of that day was the wise men. They were the teachers. They were holy men. They wasn't like the man today. Well, I take that back. Yes, they were. They were selfish. They were crooked. They did everything they wasn't supposed to do. You know. Even when God told the holy man, the man who was supposed to be leading the people, the man who, even when he told them do not drink, that they were not supposed to be drinkers, they still would drink. And then as soon as they get intoxicated, they want to start giving out favors and stuff. That's not of God. Favoritism is not of God. Bribery, to accept the bribe, is not of God. Because to accept the bribe, you deny the 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 right person their freedom, their truth. You're putting them away with a lie. You're building it up and making it even worse because now you done lied on this person. So you're at fault for lying. Now you didn't put this person in a jam in a worse situation than what they was in. So you're also at fault for that because they wouldn't be in that situation if you hadn't lied on them. You know, plus you also now put their family in a different situation too. So you didn't twinkle it all the way down through the family and everything, the children, the wife, the parents, the grandparents, so you if we're held accountable, if now I don't know about you, but I think we are held accountable, because they say as it is in heaven, so it is on earth, you know. And we see on earth we held accountable. So, just like it is on earth is in heaven or stuff, it ain't no the only thing different is heaven is a place of righteousness. They ain't got this crime and stuff up there. They got a righteous judge up there. They know that judge ain't gonna play with them. If they ain't right, that judge gonna put them out. You know, kind of like um what your president is doing. I'm trying to think of his name. Almost said Nixon. Lord have mercy. What is your president's name? Hmm? I do not know that man's name. I'm gonna have to pull it up. I don't know his name. But your president, kind of what he's doing. He getting rid of all those that ain't supposed to be right, getting rid of all the unrighteous, that that's not supposed to be here. The unrighteous that come over here. Not he's not getting rid of the unrighteous ones here. That was born here and stuff. Where you gonna go? This is where you're from. You know what I'm saying? He don't want you to go nowhere else. And he's smart. They trying to tell you that better get out while you can. That man is smart. He want to keep you here because he needs you here. Somebody got to wait on the rich. Who gonna wait on the rich if y'all leave? They're not used to doing for themselves. They used to having you all do for them. Am I correct? I mean, if I'm lying, let me know. So it's gonna be like with Pharaoh. Pharaoh didn't let the people go. Pharaoh wasn't letting God's children go. God had to divide the water. He had to separate the good from the evil. He couldn't let the good stay among the evil, because if he did, the good would have died. Oh, the good would have been unalive, because the evil would have unalived them. So he had to divide the waters. The waters is the people. And the unrighteous ones, they died. They died in that water. They were baptized in that water. Them going through the water was a form of baptism. It was symbolic to the baptism. You got to go through the waters, you know, the troubled waters, but have no fear, because God is with you. You hear? Because ye are God's. And this is what I try to get people to say. Because you say you are God, they get upset with you. But you're talking to them and you're trying to let them know, look, I'm a God. They say you're blaspheming. You ain't no God. If you're not a God, then that means that you're not a son or daughter of God. Am I right or wrong? I mean, if if your father or your mother is a God, would you not be God too? I mean, because you are with your mother and your father, all right? Not only, and plus it says that you were made in the image and the likeness of God. So if you was made in the image and the likeness of God, that means you was given the authority that God has. He gave you the same. You're God's children. You don't think God gonna pass it right on down to you, the authority that He has? Show me a rich man that do not give his sons and daughters authority in the house. They don't have full charge of the house, but the house belongs to them. They can't get the house until he pass away, but the house is theirs. What belongs to him belongs to them. Everything they have come from him. You don't see how it works. Everything God has, he's already given to us. We just refuse to take it. We refuse to grab a hold of it. We refuse to reach out to God and take what God is offering us. God is offering you life. You think you living now. You're not living. This ain't life. You think this is life where you have to get up every day and go work hard up under another man for nothing? You think working every day, as they got you believing, paying your bills is righteous. The only thing right about it is that you're in his land, therefore you are right by obeying his law. His laws say you have to pay taxes. You have to pay for your place. You have to pay for your food. You have to pay for your sickness. You have to pay for your car. You have to pay for everything that you want. He's just the government to make sure that you pay. He's the government that set up the pay scales for you. He's your creditor. Yeah, he's your predator. I mean creditor. You know what I'm saying? And you know why you pay, right? You know why we pay all these so-called bills, right? Because we slaves. We slaves. We slaves to his dollar. Slaves to the dollar, which is his dollar. That's why I say, in God we trust, because we have made the dollar our God. And we put our trust in our money. In God we trust. That's why I always ask people when they say that, which God do you trust in? That's the same thing when people say they're going to pray for me. I always say, oh, whoa, 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 wait, bro. Stop. First of all, who you going to pray to? If you're praying for me, who you going to pray to? I'm going to pray to God. Where? Where is this God at that you're going to pray to? I want to go to him too. I want to go with you when you go to pray for me. Do you see what I'm saying? Oh, well, we could pray together, brother. Okay, but can we go to him together? Oh, yeah, we're going to go together. We're going to go to him in prayer together. where is he at though? If we're going to him in prayer, we need to know where we're going before we start taking off. Well. But he's everywhere. But that ain't telling me nothing. How do we get to him? In prayer. Okay, so we in prayer. Prayer. What do you mean? Who we praying to? What's his name? What do you call him? What do we? I call him Father. But how you know you talking to him? How you know you ain't talking to your physical father? Because God knows all things. But how you know you ain't talking to your worldly father? I mean, because the things that you ask for are worldly things. So if you ask for worldly things, you got to be going to your worldly father, the God that you believe in, the dollar bill God. You know. Oh, man, I don't even know why I put my wallet. Oh, God. It ain't ran away. It's around here. It never leaves. It's around here in the house somewhere. My children don't steal. But I know I had it. But I've been moving stuff around. And on my desk, everything is black. So everything just blends in together. It's going to make me get up and go look for it, though, because I just lost a wallet and I can't afford to lose another wallet. That would just drive me insane. Just joking. It wouldn't drive me insane. Probably because the wallet is new, so I can't feel it. My other wallet was so fat. This wallet is thin. You know what I'm saying? Black. Everything black. 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 Everything black. Oh, I can't show you that. Everything black. You know. Uh, anyway, I'm still talking about God. Thank you for following me. Thank you for following me. Thank you. Thank you very much. And thank each and every one of y'all that did tap on the screen. I mean it from the bottom of my heart. That helps me to stay on. That helps me to come to you. I keep telling you I'm not a content creator. I'm here for you. I'm 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 here to try to bring you where I'm at so you could be a part of me so we can be one and we can be walking in the same direction, thinking and seeking the same thing. See, I know in order for you to be where you want to go, that you have to become one with me as I'm one with Christ, and Christ is one with the Father, and the Father is one with the Mother. We're all one. So you can't be a part of the anointed one and not be a part of me, because me and the anointed one is one, and you can't be a part of the anointed one unless you go the way of the anointed one. I mean, that's the way I have to go. That's the way I had to go from Jump Street, and once I got on that road, I couldn't get off. I'm You're not allowed to get off. Once you get on that road, you got to stay on that road. You got to stay on the road until you get to your destination. Oh, y'all don't hear me though, do you? Do you understand? Once you get on the road to the kingdom, knowledge, understanding, God, you, Once you get on the road seeking you, and I say you because it's God in you. Once you get on the road seeking that God that is in you, and you get a taste of that that wind blowing on your face as you go down that road, you get a feel of that sun beaming down on your skin as you go down that road, and you get a taste of peace and quietness as you go down that road. But once you start going down that road, it gets so good to you that you don't look back. You don't look back to see where you come from. You just keep going down that road, just looking ahead until you can get to your destination. Because the minute you look back, you no longer fit for the kingdom. The minute you look back, you have an accident. See, when you look back, you sway. That it's like driving and texting, bro. You ain't mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. You on the road. Put the phone down. You on the road to the kingdom, bro. You on the road to your peace. You on the road to your happiness. You on the road to your joy. You're on the road that leads to no more pain, no more sickness, no more crying. Put your phone down so you can see where you're going. Get out your phone. Quit texting so much. Spend some time. Look, if you're going to be on your phone, you better be talking to the Most High so you can stay on the right road. You better be on, look, you better be checking out that map, making sure that you're on the right road. You better spend your time in studying that map to make sure that you stay on the road. Because once you go off that road, it's a narrow road. That road is narrow. And listen, I told you, only few find that road. It's so narrow that only few find it. And everybody that find it ain't able to always make it down that road. Some bear off to the left or to the right, and there's no room to bear off. There's no room to. You got fire on one side. Fire, look, don't bear off the road, cause you got fire on one side and water on the other side. You're gonna drown, or either you're gonna burn. You're gonna drown in the lies and the deceit of this world, or you're gonna either burn in the foolishness of this world by becoming like this world. Stay on the road. Stay on the road that's going to take you to your destination. Stay on the road that's going to lead you to where you need to go. I am so sorry for y'all that's on YouTube. I really forgot. Let me open it up. Y'all can hear me, but you couldn't see me. And you still can't because they got my camera sitting up. All you can see is the thing. But I'm trying to tell you, I'm here to talk to you. I'm not here to lie to you. I don't want you to think I'm lying. I didn't come for your money. I didn't come for fame. I didn't come for you to look at me. I ain't nothing to look at. I'm just the average guy. I come to give you the good news that if you stay on the road, you'll make it to your destination. But you got to stay on the road. Some of y'all ain't never even got on the road. You have heard about the road. You tell others that you on the road, but you don't even know what the road is. You haven't been shown the road. No, I'm not talking about the yellow brick road, bro. I'm talking about the road to your peace. Oh, and when I was talking to those that's on YouTube because I'm also on YouTube um, and Facebook. But yeah, I'm talking about the road to your peace. I'm talking about the road to your happiness. I'm talking about the road to your no more worries. The road to no more pain. I'm talking about the road that leads to life everlasting. Life everlasting. You know, everlasting could be for like 1,000 years, because for me, 1,000 years is everlasting. Man, if I live 1,000 years, that was everlasting. That was eternity for me. 1,000 years. You know, I mean, because even the angels, you know, like a day is 1,000 years to them in their time zone. One day to us is 1,000 years to them. Could you imagine? That's why I guess they were still having children at 900 and stuff like that, because they were still babies. Man, you having children at 600 and children at. I mean, because you was still a baby. You was well, not a baby, but they were still young. You know what I'm saying? Still in their youth. Nowadays, man, you shoot. Once you get past 40, you ain't in your youth no more. Not with all the stuff that the world feeds you. Not with all the poison that you eat and drink every day, that you partake of every day, that you breathe in every day, that you wear on your body every. You know, it's poison all around. It's poison in everything. That's just man. That's just man. I ain't gonna say he don't know what he doing. He know what he doing. It's just man. He's just evil in all he do. We, you know, as I said, we who are seeking our higher self, because to seek God is to seek your higher self. We're not evil creatures. We're not. We're creatures of love. I mean, don't get us wrong now. Just because we're loved don't mean you can come up and smack us. We not. If you smack us, we not finna turn the other cheek. If our brothers smack us, we'll turn the other cheek. But if you smack us and you're not our brother, then we're gonna lay hands on you in the name of our God. That's real talk, bro. That's real talk. He ain't said nothing about let your enemy beat on you. I ain't read that. I haven't read that. So I'm not gonna let my enemy beat on me. And if I let my enemy beat on me, who's gonna take care of my family? Who's gonna finish the job that I was given to do for my children? Because you know, I was told to go have these children. And then I was told that once he gave them to me, that they were supposed to be a blessing to me. I also was told that it was my obligation, my duty, to raise them in the way that they should go. That if I raise them in the way that they should go, that when they get old, they will not stray. They will not go a different way. So, I'm, who was that said, smack Jesus because I'm not Jesus. And I don't know about Jesus, but you ain't going to smack Yahshua. You should already know that. Shoot, when they went to stone him, he wasn't even there no more. He just walked right through the crowd like he wasn't even there. That's because the hand of the Most High was upon him. The one who created him was upon him. You know, because he was created by the same one we was created by. You know, we were created and made for him. The Anakis, you call them angels, they were made for the Most High. They were made to praise the Most High. We were made to praise the Son. But the Son was made in the image of God. See, gods praise one another. Did you ever notice in heaven they always praising one another? Heaven praise them. Yeah, they praise one another. That's what gods do. They also praise the Most High. That's who they give the the, the great praise to, first praise. But they praise one another. They praise one another for doing good. They praise one another for being obedient. They praise one another for studying and taking it to heart. You know, that's what gods do, man. Gods lift one another up. You know, you know. But they're not conceited. You know, because they all striving for the same thing. You know, the gods that's a part of me, the gods I'm a part of. We all striving for the same thing. So we all have the same outlook. We all have the same. See, we all got the same mind because we actually, in actuality, we got the mind of the Most High. We got the mind of Christ. Christ had the mind of the Most High. You know, so that's us. Uh, we we're not even, when you talk about us, we don't even exist. We are just a body. You know what I'm saying? I'm just a part of the body of God. You know, I'm God's mouthpiece. You might be God's hand. Somebody else might be God's foot. And somebody else might be God's neck. I don't know. I don't know what God called you for. I know your purpose, but I don't know your gifts. I have to be around you to see your gifts. You know, we're all given gifts. Some of us are given the gift of being a son of prediction. That means you're given the gift of lies, hate, confusion, disagreement. But I'm not here for you. I'm here for those who are seeking love. How many really seek love? I know a lot wants to be loved. A matter of fact, since y'all ain't tapping on the screen, let me see if I can get y'all to tap just a little bit. Um, for all those that would love to be loved, could you just tap on the screen just one or two times? For those who want to be loved, if you don't want to be loved, you ain't got to tap on the screen. Or if you're ashamed to 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 to, to say you want to be loved, you don't have to tap on the screen because I know how it is when you're ashamed or something, you know. But you don't have to be ashamed to want to be loved. You were created to be loved. You know that, right? You know you wasn't created for yourself, right? You were created to be loved by others. But you was also created to love others. You know that, right? I mean, you can't expect to be loved if you ain't got no love to